Happy Wednesday.
We made it. Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our weekly board session. It's 9 o'clock. We're here in the Senator Hearing Room, 555 Court Street, Northeast in Salem. As always, we start with the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you would please join me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, is there anybody signed up for public comment, Brenda?
It's by Kevin.
It's by Kevin. No.
Noni.
Noni has signed up. All right. Then we'll just jump right into our consent agenda.
My turn? It's so long.
I would say you should want it to be your turn, even if it's not.
All right, Mr. Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda under Juvenile Department. Approve the incoming funds intergovernmental agreement with Clackamas County, Oregon, in the not-to-exceed amount of $200,000 to provide short-term residential placement services as needed and is available for Clackamas County youth through June 30th, 2027.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Well, it'll be your motion next week too, because I won't be here.
Well, don't brag about it.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, the motion passes. Okay, and I see Karen here, and so we're going to jump right into our action agenda, and we'll consider approval of an order appointing Carol, is it Lose? Losey, welcome, to the Marion County Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities Advisory Committee.
Good morning. For the record, my name is Karen Perkins, and I'm the Division Director for Marion County's Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities Services Division. I'm here to request consideration of one candidate for appointment to our Intellectual and Developmental Disability Advisory Committee. As you may know, the IDDAC is a group of volunteers who serve as a structured advisory group to our IDD program in Marion County. Their purpose is to support effective development, planning, and operations of the Marion County Community Developmental Disability Program and support oversight of local resources and services that address the needs of individuals with IDD. Carol has applied and has been recommended for appointment by the IDDAC, and she's here with me today. I'd like to give her the opportunity to introduce herself and share a little bit about her interest in joining the committee.
Great, good morning.
Good
Welcome, Carol.
morning. Okay, how do you summarize 40-plus years in a minute? I have a master's in speech pathology and audiology. I have a master's in special education, focusing on primarily adults and transition services.
Oh, great.
I spent 16 years at the School for the Blind before I moved on and it disappeared. And then I moved over to Salem Kaiser, where I've been in a variety of roles as far as doing evaluations, consultation, working with the county and not-for-profits and other agencies in setting up the community transition team so that when students exited the educational program, they could transition more smoothly into the adult system and receiving adult services without a drop-off or lag time. So educationally, my focus has always sort of been what used to be called low incidence populations. The terminology has changed, but the needs of the population hasn't. They are alternative accessors to the world, and I enjoy the challenge of helping them figure out how to access it. As part of that, I have a family member who is receiving wonderful supports from the county right now. So my connection is both professional as well as personal. I think in order to be a good professional, you have to remember to be a good advocate. There's structure, but then there's the individual. And I would hope that throughout my career, I have never lost sight of the individual. And so that's part of why being on the advisory council is an exciting opportunity for me, since I stepped away from full-time work, but wasn't quite ready to be fully retired just yet, and reached out and said, is there a niche for me to fill? And this was what was recommended, and sitting in on it a couple of times, I've enjoyed it. So
That's great. Did you know Janine Delani?
I am bad with names.
That's
I'm
okay.
better with faces.
She used to be the director of the Oregon Disability Commission. She was my first professional boss, and she was
Oh.
blind, and we spent a lot of time at the School for the Blind
Mm-hmm.
working to keep it open. I found it to be a valuable asset. I was in my early 20s, and she was really instrumental in defining who I am as a professional.
It was a program that needed to evolve.
Yeah, for sure.
And that was the challenge of just how do we recognize needs in an ever-changing viewpoint.
I'm also a firm believer if you have it, you need to fund it well. And I didn't
There
feel
was
like.
there was a part to that. Facilities was, as a program supervisor, facilities was a challenge. No doubt about that. But they were an amazing group of kids. And as I've said about most of the students I've worked with, they taught me more than I taught them.
Yeah.
If you're open to listening, they can teach a lot.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you want to serve on this.
I'm looking
Body.
forward to it.
Yeah, you'll be a great asset, I believe. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Carol, it's great to have you just listening to your experience in 1 minute.
Did I go over?
Yeah, but the thing that you said was the individual, understanding the individual, but also understanding programs and how do you work within those programs and get the individual's needs filled, and that's just great. You'll be an asset. So
The way I've done tons of trainings in a variety of places, and the best descriptor I can use is you never take your Sherlock Holmes hat off. You're
That's-
always the detective looking for new information, new connections, and new opportunities to either try it again or try something different.
Great. Thank you for serving.
Yeah, thank you. And you did great.
Thank you.
I thought you absolutely described it in 1 minute. Maybe a little more than a minute. I didn't time it.
Good. You ready for?
I'm ready for motion.
Mr. Chair? Mr. Chair, I'll move that we approve an order appointing, last name Lose? Losi. Carol Losi to the Marion County Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities Advisory Committee with a term ending December 31st, 2029.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, the motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thanks
coming
for
in.
being here.
Service. Okay,
Thanks, Karen.
John, you're up next. We're going to consider the adoption of an administrative ordinance approving conditional use comprehensive plan change case number 24-038 TLM Holdings LLC to replace withdrawn ordinance number 1485 dated December 17th, 2025.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
So, for the record, this is John Speckman, Marion County Planning, 5155 Silverton Road, Northeast, Salem, Oregon. The Marion County Hearings Officer held a duly noticed public hearing on March 6, 2025, and after an open record period closed on May 20th, 2025, issued a recommendation to approve conditional use comprehensive plan change 24-38 for TLM Holdings LLC. The board held a duly noticed public hearing on the application on June 18th, 2025, and considered all evidence in the record and approved the request. The board adopted Ordinance 1485 on December 17th, 2025, which was subsequently appealed to LUBA. The board withdrew Ordinance 1485 on January 20th, 2026 by Order 26-13 for reconsideration of findings. The ordinance and findings have been prepared. The notice of adoption was given on January 28th, 2026. The administrative ordinance is now set for formal adoption again. Staff recommended motion is to approve the administrative ordinance approving conditional use comprehensive plan change 24-38 for TLM Holdings LLC. But other motion options for consideration are: 1, to direct staff to make changes and to approve a modified ordinance, or 2, to not approve the ordinance. And I can stand for any questions.
Any questions for John?
Nope.
This is mostly just administrative correction, right?
Yeah, just a couple additions to
Okay.
tighten it up.
Okay, I will take a motion, Commissioners, unless you have any
It's-
further questions.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, I move to the adoption of an administrative ordinance approving conditional use comprehensive plan change case number 24-038 TLM Holdings LLC to replace withdrawn ordinance number 1485 dated December 17th, 2025.
I'll second the
We have a
motion.
motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, the motion passes.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Now, what- all these numbers. It's like, oh, that's a date. I should just say 2025.
Okay, we have a public hearing, but it doesn't start till 9:30, and so we are going to recess until 9:30.
Mine was.
Let me try again. I'm going to open the public hearing to receive public testimony regarding the needs associated with the development of the 2026 through 2031 Marion County Community Development Block Grant Home Investment Partnerships Consolidated Plan. Hi, Steve.
Good morning, Commissioners. The Marion County Community Services, Community and Economic Development Department, actually, with our recent name change, is in the process of developing our 5-year consolidated plan for the Community Development Block Grant and Home Investment Partnerships program, otherwise known as CDBG and Home. This plan is a 5-year overall plan to set priorities for how funds will be spent in years 2026 through 2031. As part of that process, there's a significant amount of public outreach that is used to gain input from the community. We have held public open houses, stakeholder group meetings, public community surveys, stakeholder surveys, and have had surveys available at our public events as well. The final step in this is to hold a public hearing to allow the public to come and provide testimony as the final opportunity for testimony as in regard to the needs to be identified in this plan. That is the purpose of today's public hearing, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Fabulous. Do you have any questions?
I don't.
This is an opportunity for the public to weigh in, and nobody signed up for public comment. So I guess that's kind of it. In fairness, we do have lots of opportunities for folks to give us input on the CDBG and home allocations every year, and we get lots of public input. So
Yes.
I imagine folks thought, I don't have to come and talk to them again.
No, we've
since-
talked to a lot of people.
Since
about this.
every year they come and tell us all about the needs of the community. So this is one of these things we have to do to comply with federal law. We're complying, we're holding this hearing. No one has signed up, so if there's nothing else, I'll take a motion.
All right.
and Move on with our lives.
Mr. Chair, I'll move that we close the public hearing and approve a resolution recognizing that a public hearing was held on February 4th, 2026 regarding the needs associated with the development of the 2026 through 2031 Marion County Community Development Block Grant Home Investment Partnership Consolidated Plan, and that any and all public comments provided at the public hearing have been received into the record.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Just that I had to take pause because the date 2031 is on this paper. And what the heck?
I know.
That's in the future, like
Yeah.
so far.
Goes by fast, trust me.
Yep.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes, and this hearing is closed.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for all your work.
Yes, absolutely.
Is there anything else, commissioners?
I'll just say that the legislative session is active and well, it's moving. I don't know that it's like thriving. It started on Monday. Today's Wednesday. Yesterday, there was over 200 people signed up at they didn't provide an early sign up for registration for the Ways and Means hearing that started last night, I think at 5 o'clock. I don't know when it ended. I stopped listening pretty early into it. And, people are frustrated with the direction the legislature is going. There was a lot of comment around protecting farms and protecting local programs like Future Farmers of America. I heard a lot of distress about their desire to raise taxes on Oregonians, force a sales tax through the process, and I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated as a local official who has to make hard decisions in my budget cycle,
Yeah.
which we're actively moving through right now, to make sure that the people that work in the county today can keep their jobs. I don't know why the legislature doesn't have to do the same thing. I think it's unfair, and I hope people are paying attention because it's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's destructive. I mean, we had this conversation before where there's a way where you can make public policy that's win-win for the citizens and for the government. And unfortunately, the folks from Portland have a different style of government, and the more that Portland controls our state, the more we get the dysfunction that you see in Portland in the rest of the state. And that's a problem, so.
Yesterday you were talking about the conversation they're having over there around the federal tax decoupling, and how they're, of course, pro making sure we can keep tax, or,
Businesses.
avoid the tax on overtime and the tax on tips. But it does seem, I was searching around trying to find exactly that language that you were using last night, to break it down in bite-sized pieces to be able to talk to our neighbors and the impact that would have. I don't remember what is it exactly?
The bonus depreciation.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing, the example I use is, I think the city of Woodburn planned for 20 years
Right.
to create industrial land to attract a company like Amazon to build the largest facility on the West Coast. Their budgets, I forget the exact numbers, but their city budget increased by over 30% just with that one single investment,
Right.
So that tells you a few things. One, businesses want to be in Oregon, and especially on the I-5 corridor. We have this very valuable corridor that has transportation from Canada to Mexico. Two, they're willing to pay a lot in taxes to be here, right? So they want to be here, they're willing to pay a lot in taxes to be here. So I think the question is, okay, how do we sort of situate Oregon so that those folks that are making these big capital investments want to come here? And if we do that, we'll have a lot more money for our public services. We'll have a
And
lot more money
jobs.
for police, we'll have a lot more money for firefighters, we'll have a lot more money for our local governments. Instead of being starved for public resources, we'll have an abundance of public resources. And the crazy thing is, when the state is saying we want to decouple from the federal tax law, the big money item that they're decoupling from is this bonus depreciation, which incentivizes capital investment. So Oregon is saying, to all these businesses that are looking to do capital investment, if you do capital investment in California, in Washington, in Idaho, you will get this federal tax benefit. If you do capital investment in Oregon, you will not get the same benefit in Oregon. So that's like, it's like telling a business, please don't invest in Oregon. I mean, that's essentially what you're saying. You're disincentivizing capital investment in the state of Oregon. Exactly the kind of capital investment that we saw in Woodburn that led to a significant increase in their budget to fund public services. So if you really care about public service, you should want to incentivize capital investment in the state of Oregon. You don't want to disincentivize capital investment. So I think that's the part that's just like wild to me. The governor announces this prosperity initiative. We have to get business going in Oregon, and the number one decoupling item on their list is to basically disincentivize capital investment in Oregon. It just blows my mind that you could have both those things happening at the same time.
I think the conversation from the local people, like the average person like myself, is going to be, well, it's the cost of doing business. But the fact is that there's a choice. As a business owner, you can make a choice.
Right, that's right.
And the cost of doing business in America is analyzing where you can make the most profit. And if you have no tax incentives at all, you only have to pay out of pocket to go there. Why would you go there? You wouldn't. That's the answer.
And also, I don't think we have to attract businesses from out of state. I think probably people have mixed feelings on whether or not a business should come here or not. But Dutch Brothers moving their headquarters to Arizona, we should never want that outcome. If there's a locally grown business that is really successful here in Oregon,
Sure.
we should want to hold on to those businesses, right? So I think it's more than just, are we not attracting businesses? It's, are we taking local businesses and telling them to go somewhere else, which I think the answer is yes.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a unfortunate circumstance, and I don't think people are really paying that close attention, but it's going to make a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
So it ends on March 8th. Anybody can do anything torturous for 4 weeks. I'm just saying. Lean in and pay attention.
Commissioner Cameron, do you have anything?
Oh, no, I was just reading some bills.
There you go.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I'm listening to you guys, man, but I'm just looking at some bills that
There's
are
over
there.
200, and today the revenue forecast comes out.
Okay,
So
there you
we'll
go.
see how that goes. Yeah.
All right, we are adjourned. Thanks, everybody.